A narcissist will accuse you of the exact things they are doing. Have you ever noticed that some of the harshest accusations a narcissist throws at you seem strangely familiar, as if they are describing themselves instead of you? One of the most confusing parts of dealing with a narcissist is realizing that many of their accusations are actually confessions disguised as attacks. They point fingers with such certainty and conviction that you begin questioning your own reality. Yet, over time, a disturbing pattern starts to emerge. The very behaviors they criticize in you are often the same behaviors they are secretly engaging in behind the scenes. A narcissist may accuse you of being selfish whenever you try to establish healthy boundaries and protect your emotional well-being. They may complain that you only care about yourself while demanding constant attention and expecting everyone around them to revolve their lives around their needs. What makes this so confusing is that they deliver these accusations with complete confidence and unwavering certainty. Their ability to sound convincing can make even emotionally strong people stop and wonder if the criticism might be true. One of the most common accusations narcissists make is calling others manipulative, while they themselves are carefully controlling situations behind the scenes. They may claim that you are trying to influence people against them, or that you are playing mind games to get your way. Meanwhile, they are often spreading narratives, twisting facts, and strategically presenting themselves as victims to gain sympathy and support. The accusation becomes a distraction that keeps attention away from their own behavior. Narcissists also frequently accuse others of lying while hiding important truths themselves. They may interrogate you over small details, question your honesty, and act as though they have caught you in some terrible deception. At the same time, they may be withholding information, distorting events, or creating alternative versions of reality that serve their interests. Their accusations are often designed to keep you defending yourself rather than examining their actions. Another revealing pattern appears when a narcissist accuses you of being disloyal or untrustworthy. They may constantly question your commitment, your intentions, or your loyalty to the relationship. Yet many times they are the ones secretly violating trust through dishonesty, emotional betrayal, or inappropriate behavior. By projecting their own actions onto you, they avoid confronting the guilt and responsibility associated with their choices. A narcissist may also accuse you of being overly critical, while regularly criticizing almost everything you do. They may claim that you are impossible to please and that you always find fault in them. Meanwhile, they constantly point out your flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings in ways that slowly erode your confidence. The accusation serves as a shield that protects them from accountability while placing you in a defensive position. Perhaps one of the most painful accusations is when a narcissist calls you abusive for reacting to their repeated mistreatment. After enduring months or even years of manipulation, disrespect, and emotional pressure, you may eventually become frustrated and raise your voice. The narcissist quickly focuses on your reaction while completely ignoring the behavior that caused it. They use your emotional response as evidence that you are the problem, allowing them to escape responsibility for their own conduct. Narcissists often accuse others of being attention seekers despite craving constant admiration themselves. They may become irritated whenever someone else receives praise, recognition, or appreciation. If you celebrate an achievement or share something positive about your life, they may act as though you are showing off or trying to steal the spotlight. In reality, they are often uncomfortable whenever attention shifts away from them. Another common accusation involves jealousy. A narcissist may insist that you are jealous of their success, popularity, or accomplishments. Yet many narcissists struggle intensely with envy and comparison. They may feel threatened when others achieve something meaningful or receive recognition they believe should belong to them. Rather than acknowledging those feelings, they project them outward and accuse others of harboring the very emotions they cannot accept in themselves. When a narcissist accuses you of lacking empathy, the irony can be especially painful and confusing. You may have spent years supporting them, understanding their struggles, and making sacrifices to keep the peace. Yet they may suddenly claim that you do not care about their feelings or needs. This accusation often comes from someone who consistently dismisses your emotions whenever they become inconvenient. Their projection allows them to avoid facing their own lack of emotional reciprocity. Many narcissists accuse others of creating drama while constantly generating chaos around them. They may insist that you are the source of every conflict and disagreement in the relationship. Yet if you examine the pattern carefully, you may notice that many arguments begin because of their dishonesty, provocations, or refusal to communicate honestly. By labeling you as dramatic, they redirect attention away from their role in creating instability. One reason these accusations are so effective is because narcissists often target people who are conscientious and self-reflective. Healthy individuals naturally examine their behavior when criticized and consider whether there is truth in the feedback. The narcissist exploits this tendency by making accusations that trigger self-doubt and guilt. While you are busy questioning yourself, they avoid examining their own behavior entirely. Over time, these constant projections can leave you emotionally exhausted and deeply confused. You may spend countless hours defending yourself against accusations that never seem to match reality. You may find yourself apologizing for things you did not do, or taking responsibility for problems you did not create. This confusion is not accidental. It is often the result of a carefully maintained pattern that keeps you focused on your flaws instead of theirs. The turning point comes when you begin observing actions instead of listening only to accusations. You start paying attention to patterns rather than promises. You notice that the behaviors they condemn most aggressively are often the behaviors they repeatedly demonstrate themselves. This awareness allows you to step out of the cycle of confusion and see the dynamic more clearly than ever before. When you finally recognize this pattern, something powerful happens inside you. The accusations lose much of their emotional control over your mind and your self-worth. Instead of immediately defending yourself, you become curious about why the accusation is being made in the first place. You start asking whether the criticism reflects reality, or whether it reveals something about the person delivering it. The truth is that a narcissist's accusations can sometimes function like a mirror, reflecting their own hidden behaviors and unresolved issues. While not every accusation is necessarily projection, many follow a predictable pattern that becomes impossible to ignore once you recognize it. Understanding this dynamic does not mean becoming angry or seeking revenge. It means protecting your reality, trusting your observations, and refusing to carry responsibility for actions that belong to someone else. The moment you stop accepting every accusation as truth is the moment you begin reclaiming your confidence and emotional freedom. You realize that their words are not always accurate reflections of who you are. Sometimes they are reflections of who they are and what they are trying desperately to hide. And once you understand that, their ability to control your perception of yourself starts to disappear forever.